Help me, I need your help right now. I couldn't even sleep that night. So thank Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayamide Joseph, and if you're new here, if this is your first time seeing my face, you're most definitely welcome. Please do well to like, share my video, subscribe, and drop a comment. And if you have any questions at all, just let me know and I'll answer your questions. So today, you're welcome guys, you're welcome. Today, I'm going to be talking about my whole process of moving from Nigeria to the United States as an international student. And I hope this video will be very helpful to those who want to come or want to study in the United States. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say I started my process, my application to schools in September 2022. Actually, I had I have an uncle who has been here for a while, so it helps me with the process. We started 2022 September, and then we just applied to two schools, which was I think University of Arkansas and Florida State University. So I think in October or November, I got an email from University of Arkansas that said, and they said I needed to write, was it GRE or, yeah, one of these exams I needed to write. And I was like, oh my God, do I have to start studying for the exam and everything? But then I was still having faith in God. I mean, in everything you do, guys, please have faith in God. I was having faith in God that Florida State University would give me an offer letter without me having to write an exam. And yes, on my birthday, guys, they sent an offer letter to me. Florida State University sent an offer letter to me saying congratulations, I've been accepted into the School of Communication. And it was like the best gift ever. I was so excited. And then, that was a good news for me. And to the next stage, next phase was visa. And as a Nigerian, it's a different thing because it's so hard to get a date. It was Shiloh season, so that was one of my prayer points, to get a visa date. And I also spoke with my family, friends, and got help from one or two places. And yes, I got a date, which was not even in Abuja where I was staying at that time, but in Lagos. So I had to fly from Abuja to Lagos to go to the embassy for an interview. And then I went, I think my interview was on the 19th of December. I went there, and you guys, the night before my interview, I was on YouTube throughout the night, trying to get questions, possible or likely questions they could ask at the embassy. And I was just seeing a lot of questions. I was tense, anxious, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God, help me, I need your help right now. I couldn't even sleep that night. So thankfully on the day, I just got ready. I went with my parents. So my dad and I went to the embassy. It was around 5 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. So we got there, and I was thinking, oh, I'll be one of the first few people to be there. But you guys, there were more than 100 people already there. And I was like, how is it that they slept there? But yeah, so when it got to my turn, the man who was there asked me some questions, which were not part of the questions I studied for. So he asked me questions like, what school am I going to? What school did I apply to? And where is it? Have I ever been to the United States before? I said yes. Oh, who did you go with? I said my family. He said, where did you stay? I said I have an auntie and her family who stay here. And then he was like, okay, I see that you graduated in 2021. So what were you doing throughout 2022 up till now. I was like, oh, I served as a corps member, and I served in a company. I mentioned the company's name, and right now I would like to further my education, right? And then what else did they ask? I think those were the questions they asked, and that was it. I think one major thing you should know when you're going to the embassy is you have to be confident in your answers, and do not lie. Don't lie, guys. Just tell them the truth and be confident in saying the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, that was how he gave me, congratulations, you have to come in 2 weeks to get your passport. And it was a very exciting moment for me. So I went outside, I went to, and before that, you guys, I need to tell you, this man was so strict. He hardly gave anyone the visa. Like, he was always giving them the green, I can't remember if it was a green or a blue paper, but he was always giving out, so people were avoiding him. So when it got to my turn and the officer told me to come to go to his side, I was like, oh my god, hey Jesus, help me. But yes, so I went to his side, and luckily, by God's grace, not luckily, by God's grace, I got the visa. And I went to share the good news with my dad, who went with me at that time, and then my mom too, that was also praying at the hotel where we were staying. And after that, I applied to start my school in the spring. And spring usually starts in January, so I had about 3 weeks before school resumed. So I was so excited that, first of all, they gave me the visa, and then I started preparing for school in January. So I think it was a rushed thing, and mind you, I didn't get any funding or anything like that, or a scholarship or whatever. So January 1st, 2023, I left Nigeria, and then January 1st, 2023, I arrived in the States. So I got into school the second week of January, and I was in the School of Communication, and I registered for my classes, and I even registered for a class that I wasn't sure of. I was like, oh my god, please help me, because I think that was the only class that was still free at that time, available at that time. So I registered for the classes, and I paid for my tuition fee, which was $10,000. You guys, it wasn't easy to pay the $10,000, but we just had to pay. My parents just had to pay the fee. And then I made friends. I made friends with some Nigerians, and they also have this African Graduate Students Association, which I was part of. And then I also had some Nigerians in my departments who I connected with. And then over the course of the semester, one of them sent me a link to apply for what they call spring tuition waiver, you guys. So I applied for it, and it was just like a Google link, just to like a survey. And then they just said, write your first name, your last name, and reason why they should refund your tuition fee, your spring tuition fee. And I was like, oh my god, like, this would be a jackpot if I actually get it. I was praying to God. I was like, God, please let this work, let it lock. And then yes, I applied for it, and you guys, surprisingly, Holy Ghost, surprisingly, by God's grace, they refunded my money. They returned everything, my tuition waiver. They refunded everything back to me. And it was, I can only say it's by God's grace, honestly, because like, who would have thought? So I got the money back, and I sent it back to my parents, obviously, because it's not my money. Then I also spoke with so that was clear, spring was clear. I was refunded my money back, my tuition fee back. And then I spoke with my department and told them I needed like an assistantship, or like a scholarship or funding, or like something I can do to get a tuition waiver. And then they said I had to take an oral class where they know that I am able to teach. So I took the oral class, and by God's grace, I passed the class, and I was given the position of a teaching assistant. And then I was a teaching assistant for the fall semester 2023, for the spring semester 2024, and for the summer semester 2024. And guess what? I am done. But yeah, so that was how I went through my master's degree without paying a dime. I mean, aside from student fee, that's like $900, or which was I could pay, because aside me getting my tuition fee waiver, they were also paying us some stipend. So every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, they were giving us a certain amount of money for teaching, or for being a teaching assistant. So basically it's just to help the instructor in, guiding the students, maybe, or grading the students, or whatsoever that course demanded. So it was just a very great experience for me, and I give God the glory, because I did not know that was possible for me. Coming from Nigeria, I was like, how would I pay my 2 years master's fee, $40,000? But God made it possible that even when I paid for my first semester, they still refunded my money back. And then from that time till when I finished my degree, or when I finished my school, I didn't pay tuition. I got the assistantship, and it was so easy. God made it easy for me. I didn't have to pay any tuition fee, and I even got stipend from them, you guys. So a quick takeaway from this message, from the video, would be, just come first. There's always an opportunity here. There's always something for you to do here. There's always a way. Once you come, leave and come, there's always a way for you. And then I would also say, try and make good connections when you get here. Talk to people, make connections, and you will be surprised how the little people you think might not help you, might help you. Or the people you think, oh, what do they know, they might be the ones to link you up with something great. I mean, I'm just so grateful for the person who sent me the link at that time to apply for the spring tuition waiver. Imagine I wasn't talking to her at that time. So I'm just, you need to talk to people, you need to connect to people. And I don't even know where to start from, with the whole adjusting to the culture here, and how I found a beautiful family, church family. Just let me know if you want to hear a story, if you want a story time about how I got a church who became my family and made it less lonely for me here. So guys, if you enjoyed this story time, please let me know. And if you have any questions at all, also let me know. I'm so happy to answer your questions if you have any. So please do not forget to do well to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share my video. You really don't know who needs to hear this, but please share my video. Love you all, and see you next time. Bye.